Welcome to another episode of the Cups and Cakes Vinyl Unveil, and today I have for you two releases from a new Edmonton label called Saw-whet Records, an experimental label run by Ethan Bokma here in Edmonton, and this is his personal release, and then this is Holy Drone Travelers, and he's also in this band. These are the first two records out on Saw-whet Records, with a third coming hopefully before the end of 2019. And as a special treat, I have Ethan here joining me today while we open these records to talk a little bit about them. Say hi, man.
Hey, how's it going?
So the Holy Drone Travelers record came out, when did it come out?
Came out in August, I believe.
Okay, and we actually featured it as a pick of the week. We really enjoy this record. I think Piyush wrote it. Yeah, I think so, yeah. So this album, how long have you been sitting on this record? How long did it take to get it out and all that jazz?
It was recorded last winter, I believe. Actually, I'm just reading that off of the thing. I completely forgot when it was recorded. Yeah, we all just shuffled into Matt's basement and we just rented a bunch of microphones, and almost, I'd say about 95% of what you hear is what we recorded.
Nice.
Like, we trimmed off very little, and very little was overdubbed. It was mostly just a lot of Matt's bass and trombone, which overdubbed, giving it that kind of that thick sound.
Okay.
For the music.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's totally live, and my little brother in London, his name is Errol. He mixed it for us.
Nice.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. And yeah.
So where did you get the vinyl done?
And the vinyl was pressed here in Edmonton at Moonshot Records.
Moonshot Records, cool. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the label, Saw-whet Records. What made you decide to start your own experimental music label? Is it gonna just be experimental music, I guess?
I'd like to keep it experimental, and I think another thing is I'd like to keep it mostly local. I mean, given the opportunity, if the right thing came along for something abroad, that would be,
yeah,
I think that'd be cool. But right now the focus is, at least that's where the funding would go for artists. I feel like a lot of people are willing to shell out for vinyl, and
definitely.
if someone sees something that looks cool or something like that, they're probably more likely. There's a certain demographic of people that are more likely to listen.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do that to put Edmonton or Alberta's experimental music more under that microscope.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much talent here and so much very interesting music that hasn't been heard before that I think the world deserves to hear.
Absolutely.
Right? There's so much.
Yeah.
So
I think Edmonton does it particularly well, experimental music, maybe better than any other city in Canada. So it's awesome that we've got you representing that genre. But we're going to spend a little bit more time talking about your release. I'll move Holy Drone Travelers off to the side, because this packaging is a thing of beauty, and it took you a long time, is my understanding.
Yep.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the packaging as I am opening it here?
So first thing is just has the artwork and the.
Yeah, and who did the artwork?
Yeah, I did the artwork myself. It was just, I don't know, I was just doodling one day, markers on paper, and ended up being really happy. It was supposed to be a draft for what the album art was going to look like. I ended up just being happy with how the draft turned out. So
it's awesome.
I'm pretty, just scanned that, and then there has all the details on the back, and then the artwork around the sleeve, the side of the spine, those were all done by hand. Okay,
yeah.
So those are all, every single one of those I had to write out.
That's crazy.
And then, the fun part.
That's got to be a tough task to try to write on there, hey?
You can see my hand usually got shaky around the 2 and the 0s on the back, just because there's nowhere to rest my hand. And then the inside is some artwork, also by me, where I used spray paint stencils.
You spray painted this?
Every single one.
No way.
Yep. Set up station outside, did, I don't know, 10 to 15 a day or so.
That's awesome.
But we'd usually have to do the first one with the white swirl and then let them dry, and
Yeah.
let the paint cure, and then lay down the next one. And yeah.
Was that a real learning curve for figuring out how to do it?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even do a test one. I just kind of jumped into it, just being like, spray paint stencils, how hard can it be, kind of thing. Yeah, and so a lot of them are done in gold, and there's a lot in blue, green, red.
Oh, you got different. Oh,
There's
that's so
different
cool.
colors. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I pulled this one out this morning, and I was like, this one looks probably one of the gold ones turned out the best.
It
Easily.
is gorgeous. And then what do we got here? What's this little picture here?
And this is a picture of where Ray the owl actually lives. My girlfriend is really heavy into birds and biology, and so she works with a lot of people who work in these kind of fields. And I was just kind of I didn't know what a runt was, and I kind of like learned of the existence of a runt and how it's something that was literally born just to take the place in case something else dies.
Yeah.
And in this case, these scientists found a runt, and I mean, it was just, they took it in and adopted it. And
Yeah.
Ray is now like used for a lot of like kids programs and stuff like that, where
Okay.
she actually comes out and the kids can pet her and everything, and you teach kids about science and
Yeah.
about birds and stuff like that. And I was just really inspired by that story, and just like, you know, so this is actually where Ray lives. Ray is actually perched right in the darkest part of the photo where you can't see her.
Yeah. So is Ray at the zoo then?
No,
Or
Ray,
where does Ray stay?
stays with a couple people who take care of a lot of birds of prey just outside of Edmonton and Towfield.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we were lucky to. My girlfriend was house sitting for them, so I got to go over there and see them. And
Awesome.
yeah.
And then we got the label here. It's the last thing we're going to show on the record.
Yep, that
And
was once
this-
again all hand done. And
That's awesome. And one last little tiny thing, the matrix runout code right there and right there. Try to catch that in the light. And there we go. Is there anything else? Ooh, you got another release coming out. Do we have any sort of hints at what it might be or when it might be?
It looks like it should be out by the end of 2019.
Okay, perfect.
It's something completely different, and yeah, I think that's it. I can reveal that.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. We will definitely look forward to that and more wonderful releases coming out on Saw-whet Records. Ethan, thank you so much for joining me to talk about your first two releases on Saw-whet. Actually,
very much.
both releases that you are a big part of.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to checking out this upcoming one at the end of the year. For any information on these records, there'll be a link in the bottom of the video where you can go purchase them. Please do. Wonderful experimental music out of Edmonton. This has been the Cups and Cakes Vinyl Unveil. We'll be back to open another Canadian LP in 2 weeks.